Welcome to the girls. Today we have a very special show lined up for you. We have a very special guest, and we're going to be talking about pageants and beauty queens. Right, girls?
That's right. Our own beauty queen coming on. Dr. Jill SNYDER will be with us later in the show, and we're going to get some feedback from our audience as to what they think about the little pageant queens.
Now, the show's on Toddlers and Tiaras. Have anyone seen that? I've seen some of the publicity for it. I don't get involved in it because I'm not really a pageant type person myself to get into.
But tell us about your experience with the pageant when you were little.
When I was little,
to try it.
I wanted to try it.
Little Junior Miss Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
It
was fun. We did the photo shoot. You had to send in your pictures from what I remember. So that was cute. And I remember my mom trying to tweeze my eyebrows. It was a unibrow when I was little. And you know, your eyebrows start off really big and then they kind of get smaller when you get older. Well, this one, I have 2 scars if you zoom in really close because, you know, she decided to use the scissors instead of plucking them out.
You were screaming about it, so I was like trying to just snip the little edges off.
That is so funny.
But
that's the funniest part of the pageant, but we went. It was a really good time. I made a lot of good friends, and it was a good experience for me. I don't think I would be the type of person that would want to do that, you know, full time for myself.
Yeah, we did it for fun, and you learned something. Like you said, we went to Jeannine Berger's Sacco, and she taught you like a little charm school, private little charm school type thing with poise and presentation, how to walk. We went out and had to buy 3 outfits for your wardrobe: the sports outfit, the activities, and the gown. And so it was nice and bonding. Daddy went with us, and Sammy was like, "Oh boy, do I have to go to this?"
Kill me.
But anyhow, everybody made the trek down to Harrisburg, Hershey. I'm sorry. But when we arrived, all the little girls were sitting there with these gigantic rollers in their hair, who had their nails done, and they had like the glitz and glamour and the whole thing on. And in walks Jeannine, the little purist, she was going on as is. And so I was like, oh my Lord, this is going to be an experience for this kid, but it really was.
How involved do you think parents should be with getting their children involved in these pageants?
Well, wait, before we go there, I need to say something.
About my eyebrows?
About your eyebrows.
Oh, gosh.
My little sister had a unibrow growing up, and it was a hardcore Italian unibrow, and I hated it because I was a teenager, and I'm like, that is so not cool. So instead of plucking it, which I maybe should have done, I shaved up the middle, and she was like 6 years old. My mom goes, "Oh, I loved her unibrow. Why did you do that?" And I got in so much trouble for shaving my sister's unibrow.
Why would you shave your sister's face?
Yeah, but why would you love a unibrow?
I know. I think she was just, I don't know. But yeah.
Why would you use the scissors to your daughter's eyebrows?
Well, because I was plucking them and you started screaming. You told me, "Can't I just cut them?" So how about when I highlighted your hair? That's a whole other story.
Oh, God. That wasn't even part of the pageant, but I had green hair, blonde hair, green stripes. I was out of school for a week because I was sick.
On Toddlers and Tiaras, now obviously not everybody does that kind of beauty queen thing, but they have these fake teeth they put up in the little children flippers. I was going to say flappers, good flippers. They spray tan the girls, they have fake nails, they have wigs, and they look really, really weird. They look like doll babies, like fake.
And the thing about that is, okay, if that's your thing, and if you want to spray tan your child, get their hair done, and if you want to put makeup on them, fine, I understand that. However, I think it's more the message. If you're saying, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to win, you got to win. No, it's more of the sport of pageant. I think we'll learn that today when we have Dr. SNYDER on, because I think she did it the right way and is teaching her children the right way.
How about you after the pageant? Of course, Jeannine didn't win. She wasn't up to the standard of everything.
Of course, I'm
not saying it was a glamour like pageant type thing. But anyhow, I mean, we thought you were beautiful, but every little girl did get a trophy, so it was a nice pageant like that. And all these kids were crying.
I had the loser trophy.
No, you did the loser trophy.
Lost. Way to go.
I mean, even on the one show, they put fake boobs on a little girl. She was like this big and she had fake boobs. She was being Dolly Parton.
It's crazy. But all the kids were crying who didn't win. And Jeannine's like, "Mommy, why are they crying?"
I was laughing.
I don't know. Well, she's laughing. She goes, "I just want to go out for a hamburger." I mean, that's all she cared about was, you know, she went, she did, she saw, she had fun.
Now
and we were happy.
Like this little fat child who was just wanted to eat burgers and had like zits and a unibrow.
No, you were very beautiful, but it's the thing that they wanted, that glitz and glamour and the big ball dresses, which could run $3,000 nowadays anyhow.
It's more the parents, because I think the kids had a good time, and the kids that I met had a great time, but it was their parents, it was their mothers.
The kids
barking.
The moms are living through their children. I hate that.
Yeah, well, some of the kids are really, really young. I mean, they're holding them up there on stage. The kids came and walked.
Them.
And then on that one show, they showed the little kid, really small, in the tanning bed, screaming. She's going, make it stop, make it stop.
In the tanning bed?
I'm sorry, in the tanning spray tan.
Oh, okay. That's different.
And she's screaming that she wanted to get out of there. So they have them all tanned up with the flip things. How about the hairdos? Those wigs that they put on the kids and whatever. So, I mean... Okay.
We're saying the horror stories, and
you
have to be this tall, you have to be this big, you have to have the blonde hair, you have to have the blue eyes. And, you know, it's nice to show the image of, you know, and we've been saying this on the girls, is be who you are.
Right. So when you get a little bit older, if you want to do that, fine. And you know what? Some of those little kids, though, they really do have a good time. If you could see, some of them are, you know, they're really hamming it up and doing their thing. So I guess it just depends on who you are, what you want to go for. And it should be a good experience, though. I think some of it looks like child abuse, but some of those kids really want to be there.
Yeah, and of course, this is just one, you know, one point of view, and we're going to talk to someone who is probably going to have a whole other story to tell us and kind of let us know what really can happen in different kinds of pageants. They don't always have to go for this look, and we're going to learn that pretty soon, I think.
You can also win a lot of scholarship money, and you use your education, and you can also do community service. That's the part of pageantry that I love.
And that was the other one, the Junior Miss pageant. It's all about the scholarship. So you did go on for another one, Jeannine.
Did you get a hamburger after?
Right. I didn't make that one, and I did not have a hamburger after that. I was scarred. No hamburgers for me. Lettuce. Lettuce.
All right, well, stay with us, because when we come back, we're going to meet and speak with Dr. Jill SNYDER, and she is going to tell us the real inside scoop.
That's great.
Yeah, let's find out. Welcome back to the girls. If you're watching us locally in Hazleton on Channel 13, or you could catch us at ssptv.com anytime. We are joined right now in this segment by a very special guest. This is Dr. Jill SNYDER. She is a gynecologist from the Hazleton area. She has been practicing for 11 years, and I cannot believe that you have 3 children.
Yes, I do.
All right, and
you're my mama.
You are in the into the beauty pageants, and we've been talking about that. So we figured, well, what better person than to ask questions than to have a real life beauty queen here. So welcome to the girls.
Thank you very much.
And tell us, what is the scoop with the beauty pageants? How did you get involved in beauty pageants?
It all started, I was born and raised in the Atlantic City area. So I was about 4 years old when I went to my first Miss America pageant. I literally went to every Miss America pageant from the age of 4 until I was about 22 when I went away to higher education. And my grandmother was in one of the first Miss America pageants in Atlantic City. My Aunt Debbie, my mother were in pageants. I think if you're born in that area, it's just it's a rite of passage. Everybody kind of competes.
Almost like the girls from down south in Georgia and whatever the
It's
Southern
very,
Belles.
very, very popular. And when I was in high school, actually my brother dated a girl who competed in Miss Atlantic County. I went to see her compete, and at that point, I was in college, and I was headed to medical school, and I read in the brochure about the Dr. Allman Scholarship. And Dr. Allman was one of the founding members of the Miss America pageant, and he left a large amount of money, and all you had to do was compete in a Miss America preliminary, and you could win this scholarship for any education involved in medicine.
Smart girl. So there was some brain here.
Yes. Your education.
So I said, okay, this is no big deal. Just show up, walk around in a dress. I can do this. I actually went and I competed for Miss Atlantic County. And I remember telling my boyfriend at the time, who is now my husband, I said, I'm just going to go do this. I'm going to get this scholarship, and then that's going to be it. And I won Miss Atlantic County.
Yay.
So in 1993, I went to compete in Miss New Jersey for the Miss America pageant. And I remember Chris coming up on stage, and he looked at me and he hugged me and he goes, "This isn't the last pageant, is it?"
No, he could see it was in your blood.
And I said, "Yeah, not by a long shot." But anyway, I competed in Miss New Jersey, and I was first runner-up out of 37 girls. So I came this close to competing in Miss America. But unfortunately, at that time, I kind of entered a little late, and I aged out, so I couldn't compete any longer.
And how old were you at the first pageant?
I was 24 years old, 23 years old, because I would have been 24, and then, you know, that was kind of it.
When did you age out? At 24?
24, you're done.
Oh, my Lord.
Age out.
Yes.
At
So
24.
then what happened after that? Because you were still competing, obviously.
Yes, in Miss America, you age out at 24. I actually, the following year, competed in Miss New Jersey, USA, and made top 10. But then kind of medical school became a little bit more challenging, and I said, okay, I got to put this on the back burner. And I did put it on the back burner for a very long time. I got married. I had 2 children.
And so bringing us up to current, of course, the people who are watching are seeing some pictures of you in your bathing suit, and my God, I mean, what a body. What did it take to work out, to get your body?
At some point, I think it was actually right after my daughter Jacqueline was born, my sister-in-law, Nancy, had said to me something about, they have this Mrs. America pageant. I really think you should do this. You're so accomplished. You're in great shape. You have these children. You do all these things.
You have brains in your head.
Well, yeah, exactly. So I competed. I became Mrs. Pennsylvania America.
Making us all so proud.
In 2006, I traveled out to Arizona and competed in the Mrs. America pageant, which was an experience. I realized that I was much older than many of the girls that were competing.
But still able to compete.
But still, exactly.
I mean,
still able to compete, and out there, it was a fabulous experience. It was a lot of fun. I met friends that I'm still in contact with, Mrs. New Hampshire, Mrs. Maine. These are people I Facebook with all the time.
And so you're still competing. And tell me
Still
something,
competing,
you have a
yes.
daughter now. Does she compete?
I have 2 daughters. I have a 12-year-old daughter and a 9-year-old daughter. And it was funny because I heard you guys talking about toddlers and tiaras, which put a knife in my chest. Toddlers and tiaras has really given pageantry a kind of a sour, bad name.
So it's the extreme worst case scenario,
Yes,
I'm thinking.
yes.
Okay.
It's like Jersey Shore versus,
Shore.
real reality. Exactly.
Snooki versus
Let me
Marilyn
ask
Monroe.
you, do you see when you were at the pageant, do you see that kind of drama going on with the girls as some people might think pageants are, or is do you see the side of it where it is a sport and it is taken seriously on the respectful level of dedication, hard work, education, practicing, because you do have to do communication skills as well?
I think, my personal opinion is whenever you put 30 to 50 girls in one place for an extended period of time, you're going to have drama. Come on, let's be realistic here. It's drama. But I can say over the years, there's probably, 25% drama, 75% girls that are very accomplished, girls that are going on to become lawyers, doctors, leaders of our society. Especially in the Miss America pageant organization, your interview counts for a majority of your score. And I mean, you're sitting one-on-one with these judges, and they're grilling you about President Obama, current politics. The part you don't see is the shame of it. Because you watch Miss America, and you're like, why the heck did she win?
Right.
But you didn't see the main
that led up
part
to
where
that, right.
you see that final question, and you see how articulate these women are, and how much incredible communicators they are, and how talented they are. But the interview portion of these pageants is a really, really difficult.
So would you say that's your strong point, and that's why you're so successful in these pageants, is you're articulate about the subjects?
I would say.
Good.
I tell people my experience. I mean, I went to the Miss New Jersey pageant, and it's a panel judging. So you're standing at a podium, and there's 7 people in front of you. 6 of them are judges. One's the judge's chair. And they always tell you they're not going to ask you anything about abortion or, politics. Because they knew I was a medical student, I wanted to go into gynecology. The question I had from a judge was, what would you say to parents who wanted to have an abortion because they thought they were going to have a homosexual child? And I will never forget that question. And I remember watching as the judge asked me, the other judges went, like looked at and like at that point, it's not like you say, excuse me, I am offended by that question, I don't want to answer it. You can't do that. And I kind of answered the question, and I found out later, and I was very proud, that I actually won the interview portion of Miss New Jersey.
Can we know what you answered?
That was a very long time ago, but I do believe I said something to the effect of, well, there's no way you could tell whether or not you would have a homosexual child prior to birth. I don't really agree or believe in abortion, and I feel no matter what sexual orientation your child would have, you should embrace them and support them and love them for who they are.
Good.
Bravo.
Love it.
And hence,
love it.
So I want to like prove to people it's not like you go into these interviews and they say, "Oh, what's your favorite color? What kind of car do you drive? Are you
Do you like rainbows? Do you
exactly?
Like
yeah, it's really
Me too.
it's not like that. And I'll be honest, it has, I surely went into it for the money initially. I'll be honest. But like over the years, it has really helped me to become a very good communicator and very good to talk to anyone. And I think it's helped me in my practice because I can meet someone for the first time and establish an immediate bond with them and help them and talk to them. So
and you've become a great role model for other girls too, because not only did you take the competing part of it, but you also had the profession. So stay with us. When we come back, you're going to get to hear some great questions that we're going to ask Jill from the audience. My favorite part of the show, we get to ask all the questions. The audience has given us some questions for Dr. Jill SNYDER's with us today. All about pageantry, the real scoop on it. So I guess one of the first questions I would like to ask you that has been sent up to me is, what is your funniest memory of the pageant experience?
Funniest. When I went to Miss New Jersey, I actually got to room with the girl who eventually became the winner. And we were in Wildwood, New Jersey in July for 2 weeks, and she was an opera singer, and she told me that we were not allowed to turn on the air conditioning because it would hurt her voice. So I said, "You're crazy."
The sweat box.
So we kind of were at odds about that. So finally we agreed to set the air conditioning at about 75, and we compromised. And
75?
Yeah.
Wait, what was your talent?
I played the marimba. I played Flight of the Bumblebee, like
Wow.
Remember that? That's what
What's the
We should have had you
marimba?
bring it along and do that.
I haven't done that in a long time.
Is the marimba like a...
It's like a xylophone. It's like a...
Oh, so you have like little sticks?
Yes.
I'd love to see Jasmine do that. My talent was actually tweezing my eyebrows by myself.
Here we go. I'm never going to live it down.
And eating a hamburger, right? Okay, so my question is, are you allowed to wear pantyhose when you are in your bathing suit?
No.
Nothing. So
Not
it's
at
just
all.
Bare bone. Does it have to be one piece or two piece? Do they provide that, or how does that work?
There's different systems, and at Mrs. America, we wore one-piece bathing suits. Currently, this weekend, I'm going to be actually competing at the Mrs. International pageant with 2 other young girls from Hazleton.
Wow.
I have a Miss contestant who's going out with me and a teen contestant, Sherry Himanko and Caitlin Marhalko. And the international system's different. You wear athletic wear, you don't wear bathing suits, and it's actually a 2-piece, like shorts. It's something you would work out in.
Right.
Oh, gotcha.
But again, you're not allowed to wear pantyhose.
Wow.
And are you allowed to get any kind of plastic surgery or update to your body?
Update.
Well, you know,
If your body's outdated.
tweaking.
Like breast
You
implants.
can. I haven't, but you can.
You can.
Yeah, there's no rules about.
Like Botox
Supplementing.
and
So,
everything
so,
like
so
that.
for those girls out there looking to maybe get into pageantry, is there, some advice you could give them, or, anything you'd like to offer?
The only advice I could give is, no matter what title you obtain, you're going to have to speak to people. You're going to have to do public appearances. You're going to have to do speech. People focus so much on getting the $3,000 gown, working out till their body's like a twig, looking so good, and then they get in front of a camera and they can't speak. And I think with the interview process and being in front of people, you really have to focus on your public speaking skills and that aspect more so than on how you look.
And that will take you through
Well,
every
maybe I'd have
career.
a chance.
I think you would.
We're enrolling Jasmine.
My question for you is, your daughters are involved in pageants. What is different from your daughter's experiences to the ones we talked about in toddlers and tiaras? Anything?
This is a topic which is dear to my heart. Yes.
She's ready.
From what people do not understand, because everybody asked me this question, and I said there is two completely separate divisions of children's pageants. There's glitz pageants, which is totally toddlers and tiaras.
Okay.
And then there's a whole other section of pageants called natural pageants.
Okay.
And the two biggest natural pageants in the United States is the co-ed pageant and National American Miss.
Okay.
And I personally would never, ever, ever spray tan my child, put false eyelashes on them, put flippers in their mouth, because personally I think you're telling your child you don't look good enough the way you are to go out there and compete with these other children. You have to look like this.
So you're teaching them
I'm
more
teaching my
self-confidence.
children, you are perfect the way you are, go out and do the best you can. And actually in National American Miss and co-ed, they literally, if you have anything fake, fake hair, fake teeth, fake tan, anything fake on your body, you are disqualified. You are not allowed on the stage.
So was I okay that I tweezed her eyebrows and nothing else?
I mean, that's, you know.
You are missing eyebrows. Disqualified.
Did the right, no makeup, it was just the eyebrows.
Yeah, I don't really know how they would be able to, like, call you out on that and say, you know.
Oh, she was only helping.
But look, she still remembers it to this day. It's
So
like
it was a
so
bonding
true.
thing. It was a bonding thing. Did your mother go with you to the pageants, and did you have
Yes.
family
my
involvement?
My mother was at Miss Atlantic County
Well,
back
there
in
you
her
go.
day,
So
so
see?
it was like a rite of passage.
Right. So you're just like going on from generation to generation.
What do you got?
And the self-confidence, I guess, is going to be instilled in your daughters. Look at how self-confident you are. I don't think we had
My
anything
daughter
bad happen.
Jacqueline, actually, we traveled out to National American Miss in Harrisburg in August. And it was the first time we competed in this pageant system. We showed up. There was 138 girls in her age division.
Wow.
138. And I was like, ugh, you know, like this. And I looked at her, I said, well, there's 138 girls that you're competing against. And my lover, 9-year-old, you know, Jacqueline, looks at me and says, oh, no problem, Mom, I'm going to win.
There you go.
Just-
Talk about self-confidence. Okay, now I want to know something else about what you win in addition to money. When they're younger, do they win prizes? And like, what are some of the prizes that they entice them with?
When they're younger, actually they can't, you're not allowed to really win. You can win cash, but most of the time, like if you win in National American Miss, you win a trip to Disneyland in California. You compete for you're out there for over a week. You win, you know, dresses and modeling scholarships, and there's all, you know, pretty crown boxes and fancy this and that.
Yeah, and where's your crown? We
We have,
this
I'll be
beautiful
honest
crown
with you
here.
guys, I have a crown case at home. It has my crowns, my daughter's crowns, everybody.
And we want to thank you for coming. And we have one special thing we'd like to announce is this is the unveiling of the official girls coffee mug. And as you can see, it's pink and white. It has the girls on with our slogan, you think it, we say it. And if you're interested in buying any of these, we are going to have them on Facebook with all the information. All the proceeds will go to award helping women with cancer, breast cancer research. So if you're interested in these, you could be helping us as well. The time flew by again.
Yes.
Thank you so much, everybody. We hope that everybody out there enjoys it. And we'll see you next time when I'm going to have acupuncture.